Our company is TEI Software Development, formerly Technology Engineers Incorporated. We started as a company in 1985. We were originally, and still are, a management and IT consulting firm, although we've really focused primarily on software development. But all of our systems are large information systems done for fairly large organizations, and that's what our specialty is. When our company first started, there were a number of people in the IT world. It was obviously mainframe, but over the years there were competitors with Unix and PC-centric. There's still a lot of people who work on PCs. We do not do infrastructure or network type stuff. We're primarily application development. But because of the Louisiana, it is not a particularly innovative state, and you really get very little help from state government in trying to find ways to promote companies like ours to thrive and prosper. So consequently, over the years, it's narrowed down to just a few companies. We're one of the ones that are remaining. Another one would be GCR. Their business plan is slightly different than ours. Sparkhound was a company. I don't know how active they are in the space in which we work anymore. There've been as recently a consolidation of Technaris and General Informatics and InfiniEdge, which is not a good sign for for our state. There should be companies busting out all over. Unfortunately, they're not. But those are some of the local competitors. Of course, on larger projects, we can compete against the really large IT firms nationally. Covalent, I believe, is one of them, and we bump up against in writing really large proposals from time to time. Companies from out of state. We have a cost advantage over them. We're here, they're not, so it's more expense for them, and our people are generally better. We tend to hire really top-notch people who have graduate degrees. In terms of competitive advantage, we've felt like from the very beginning that there, number one, is a need for IT consultants or IT application developers, which is really what we are, software developers that perform at a high level. Complex organizations have complex problems, and so we have always tried to attract sharp people and pay at least competitive or better than competitive wages, certainly for the Baton Rouge area, and we've been pretty successful. Current clients that we have include the Louisiana Oil Spill Coordinator's Office when Deepwater Horizon spill occurred in 2010. The Governor's Office and the State of Louisiana contracted with us to create the databases that the litigators and scientists would need to go about restoring the coastline, and that was done through the Oil Spill Coordinator's Office. We designed all the user interfaces, participated with the federal government. Actually, I think representing the federal government was my old employer, Booz Allen, and it's still ongoing and was probably our biggest single project. We've also, on an ongoing basis, have developed over the past several years and continue to modernize and keep them up to date, are the incentive programs used by Louisiana for businesses. This is taking the legislation that describes incentives that are offered to the, tax benefits and incentives, financial incentives to companies, and we put that into a program to manage all those called Fast Lane, a separate system, but within the same area is Small Biz, which is a online system that helps the department manage smaller contracts and benefits to smaller entities. And then we have an incentive evaluator that is sort of a decision tree that allows companies online without having to call in and talk to people to find out what their tax benefits are. The law enforcement, we do a lot of work in the law enforcement area. Most of the, virtually all of the criminal justice data in Louisiana from sheriff's offices, police departments, about 400 of those in the state, that is reported to Louisiana and ultimately to the FBI is done using systems that we've developed. Let's see, I mentioned LED, DHH. An interesting system that we developed was, or is, the Louisiana Early Event Detection System for the state epidemiologist, Office of Public Health. It's a fairly complicated system that involves collecting data from emergency rooms and hospitals around the state on a daily basis, running this textual information through a dictionary that we developed to look for specific words. So for instance, if we had in the same day from Shreveport, from 5 different hospitals, information and emergency room data that had fell off a bar stool, then that would mean that maybe they had a riot, but it's not necessarily an epidemic. On the other hand, if from 5 different hospitals, this data came in that says loose stools and temperature and various other indicators that might indicate that somebody, a bioterrorist, had put something into the drinking water supply, which in Shreveport happens to be Cross Lake and could be possibly done. That would be an early way to detect that there is an epidemic or some public health problem. So we have various and interesting projects. We have good relationships with our clients, and that's mostly due, we think, we do write good code. We do hire, we think, top-notch graduates. Almost all of us are graduates of LSU. Our analysts and our business managers, relationship managers, a number of them have MBAs from LSU. Turnover, the turnover in people, we hire a lot of graduate students and they stay for several years, a number of H-1B students, and then they want to go to California and to Texas naturally. Our competitive advantage is the quality of the people that we have working with the clients, generally our MBA students, and the or people with we hire a lot of graduate students, but people who have graduate degrees on both the side, working with the client, formulating the systems, the user interface, and then back at the office doing the actual development. So I think some companies strive to do that. It's not easy. You do have to have large contracts. We would rather have one $500,000 contract than 10 $50,000 contracts. And most of our work is done through contracts. We don't develop a product that we try to market as a, like Twitter or Facebook or something like that, software products. We're more along the lines of what a company such as Booz Allen would do.